So I recently filmed a video about the Predator Badlands movie that came out a couple weeks ago that I saw, and talked about how I really enjoyed it and whatnot. And I mentioned a little part in there on where there's a lot of people on the Predator Reddit threads that are hating on the movie, even though I talked about how much I loved it. And I thought when I was making the video, I thought about this idea that I don't think any of us are unaware of, but I feel where we're at right now is that it's cool to hate on stuff. Anything new, or maybe even old things too, but especially new things that come out, whether it's like a video game or a movie or a book or whatever. The initial reaction to go to it is that it's either going to be bad or that just overall it sucks. Like, it just does not compare to the old thing. And it made me think about this because is it like as a question, as I don't know, as a society for us, is it cool to hate on stuff when it comes out? That's just something that I've been thinking about, and there's a couple things that make me think, first off, is it cool? Are you a cooler person because you're hating on something? And the other side of it is, are you hating on things because you actually genuinely hate it? Or are you hating on something because everyone else is and you think it's the right thing to not like something because of what it is? And I want to preface that and say, it's totally cool to dislike things. Everyone has their preferences. I understand that, but I've gotten the feeling that it's cool to just be oh, this was not that good. It doesn't compare to this. This video game, let's say what's coming out. I don't know, a game that came out a couple years ago. Let's see. A perfect example of this is every Call of Duty that's been coming out the last 5 years. Now, I am a Call of Duty player. I've played most of the Call of Duties. I stopped playing a few years ago, but I loved Call of Duty and I stopped playing them because I was just so addicted to playing them and I wanted to get away from it. But I did not like the newer Call of Duties, but I still played them and enjoyed playing them because it's Call of Duty and I like it. But every Call of Duty gets so much hate on it before it even comes out, because they don't even have a chance to be good now, even if they are decent. So it's kind of like that, where it's like for this new Call of Duty, Black Ops 7, that came out a month ago. People have hated on that game, I think, worse than any other Call of Duty I've heard about, mainly on the campaign, because they thought it was so poorly done, and it looks not that good. I'm not going to say it does. I haven't played the game, but I've heard decent things about the multiplayer. So I don't know overall what the game is like. I haven't heard anything really about the zombies, so I don't know. But this is an example of people just hating on something before really gathering and getting a full opinion of it. Because I think it would take a few months before you can actually give a solid opinion on a game. And it feels like there's just this default to disliking things. And I don't know what it is, if people feel safer to say something is bad rather than to actually share their opinion. I don't know if they're scared to share their opinion, but I feel a better way to go about it would be to just say what you liked about it and what you enjoyed, rather than just defaulting on hating on something and saying it's slop, or saying that it's trash, or saying that it wasn't done tastefully, or they could have done this better. Just say what you enjoyed, what you didn't enjoy, and then just saying overall yeah, it was okay. Maybe it goes to people having too high of standards. I don't know what it is, but it just feels weird. And I feel like if I'm ever going to go look at a review of something, before I get it, and this even goes to besides games, and this goes to product reviews of any product. You go there and you're gonna look at the negative reviews, I feel first, and you're gonna remember the negative reviews over seeing those 5-star reviews. You're gonna remember the 2-star, the 1-star reviews more than the 5-star reviews. Even if there's 99% 5-star reviews, you're going to be like, oh, well, this one person said that this was bad, so I'm not thinking about watching it or doing it or getting it. And that sticks out in our mind. I do feel there is some form of insecurity in telling people what you like and sharing that on social media with the world, because you're scared of other people's opinions and other people saying that they dislike it, and you don't want to cause that friction, that disagreement. So as a short little aside, like what I had said about the Predator Badlands movie was that, like, on Reddit, people were talking about how it didn't compare to the older Predator movies, how it just was like some Disney slop that was put together. And I talked about in my review that I absolutely loved the movie and thought it was super fun and super badass. And I enjoyed it. I don't really care that it didn't compare to the other ones or what other people said. I went into the movie without any reviews and looking at that and just going in from a couple people that had recommended and said it was super cool from work. I am not a Predator fan. I really haven't seen any of the other movies, and I went in and I enjoyed it so much, and I'm so happy I saw it, and I would go see it again in a heartbeat. Like, I don't care that everyone else is saying that it's okay. I thought it was so cool. I feel it would be good, and I know I mentioned this earlier, people need to, I'm not going to say people need to, but I feel what would really help is if we dislike things, putting in the effort to find things that we enjoyed in things. So if you dislike the Predator Badlands movie, or you dislike the new Call of Duty, or you dislike the newest book that came out, or whatever it is, find things in there that you enjoyed about it. Like, this is what I liked. Kind of like a compliment sandwich, like saying, like, this is what I liked, this is what I didn't like, and overall, this is how I would rate it. I have a coworker at my work that I like to talk about because he is completely on his own opinions, and he doesn't really let that he doesn't let others influence his own opinions. So he has a list of his top 10 favorite movies, and in his list are some, I would say, questionable movies for the general. One of them is, I had never even really known, but it's the new Hunger Games movie that came out, I don't know, within the last couple of years. I didn't even realize that there was one. I looked up and it was rated okay, like in the 6s on IMDb, which is like an average movie. It's all right. And he had it in his top 10 films of all time. But that does sound weird, right? But I also respect it a lot because someone has their own opinions and they really enjoyed it and they're not willing to hide it. And I think that is really cool. And I respect that. Like, that is something that I admire and do not, I respect that he's not scared of other people's opinions, of other people saying that movie was trash. So I just want to go back to, I think it would be really good if we just all were bringing positivity, especially in the world now with all the negativity that we have and all the negative things that we see on the internet, news related, whatever related, right? I think it's good that we bring positivity, and even though maybe you didn't like something or like some parts of it, don't just default to say that you hated this or think it's trash. Like, we could talk about the things that we enjoyed about it, and I think if we talk about those things, it's kind of talking about how unique each one of us is, like picking out the things that we liked from a movie or from whatever it is. So that's just my food for thought on this. I think it's something that should change soon in our society. I think it would benefit everybody. Having that positive mindset, having an open mind, talking about what we like. But I'm totally open to hearing what you guys think. Have you guys noticed this too, like in our community, especially online, of people like just defaulting to disliking stuff or hating on things? But yeah, no, I really appreciate you guys' support. You know, of course, as always, any support is greatly appreciated. Thank you guys so much for listening, and enjoy your day. Peace out.